What should my intro be? Should I do something?
No, you're the one who does it for a reason.
You literally just ripped off Dungeons and Daddies for the first one.
Absolutely.
Why the fuck? Really? Already? We're starting off this early with him getting up and leaving randomly? Dude, do the intro now.
I'm home. Give me a second to tell her to fuck off.
Start it now. Do it now. Dude, just go. We're just going to introduce Mike as Nick's replacement.
Hello and welcome everyone to the newest episode of the most exciting podcast you will ever listen to in your whole life. That's right, I'm calling you out, Joe Rogan. We're better than you. My name is Adam.
I'm Jeff.
And today we have replaced Nick with one of our friends. He was a guest last year on the podcast, and now he is here as a full-fledged, full-time member. Mike from Games My Mom Found. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Adam.
Your salary is 0, by the way.
Yeah,
That sounds about right. That's podcasting. Negative salary, usually.
True.
yeah. So this week on You Hate to See It, I am drinking more Arbor Mist Blackberry Merlot.
He's drank this for like 4 recordings now.
It's been more than that. It's been a long time.
I'm waiting for the last episode where you're just like crying because you haven't drank anything else.
I'm about there. I'm so sick of this shit.
I mean, I'm drinking Budweiser. I'm also running on like 0 sleep and I'm dying, but here we are. Not gonna lie, it works out well that Mike's here because they're gonna talk about comics for a large portion of that, and I'll probably nap.
Drinking Michelob Golden Light, so nothing special, but it's okay.
Who let Nick into the Zoom?
Excuse
Oh
me,
my God.
Nick. We've replaced you. How did you get here?
Oh, I see. This has been the bit. All right, so you guys
Nick,
just start. Okay.
How
this was
did
the
you
bit.
get here?
All right, this was the bit. I get it. No,
Who gave you a link?
It's fine. No, I get it.
How do you always manage to ruin the good
Does
things?
this mean I can go and play COD? Like, is that what that means? I can just
But-
dip out and go play
Well, but Gustav has to stay on screen.
COD? God damn it.
Mute up, brother.
Hi, I'm Nick. I got Kona Big Wave Golden Ale, and I also got Vikings Blood Mead. Both very good.
Lies. So, I mean, we kind of skipped over it, but Mike, would you like to introduce your podcast at all, or?
You mentioned it, but yeah, sure.
I mean, you've been on before and you've talked about it, but just in case new people have come on, especially those West Virginia people that are carrying our fucking podcast.
Yeah, we get almost half of our listeners from West Virginia for no reason.
Maybe because they're awesome. How about that? Because West Virginians are amazing. Okay,
Apparently, we need to move to West Virginia.
I'd do it.
Same.
Okay.
What
Has to
state
be
you guys
better
live
than
in?
Illinois. Well, they live in Illinois. I live in Indiana, but
Lucky bastard.
I'm in Minnesota, so not that far away.
I
I do a retro video game podcast called Games My Mom Found. We cover movies, we cover comics, cover a little bit of everything. But each episode, we dig into a different topic.
I was gonna say. I mean, you guys have been. You guys, did you just get done with the Marvel movies?
We're still going.
Okay.
We just recorded
Oh my God.
Infinity War, but we just released, at the time, depending on when you hear this, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 should be coming out.
This comes out on Monday, on the 12th.
Okay.
Technically,
Oh, hey,
we're recording
we did
on
research.
Monday the 12th.
yeah, at 10 a.m., 11 a.m.
We're live, 11 a.m.
Live, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys wanted to talk comics? I haven't read any still.
All right.
So
Mike, what you been reading?
I'm actually reading Kingdom Come right now. The Justice League book from 2000,
all
I
right,
think.
all right. I haven't gotten to that one yet.
It's odd.
Is it? All right. I don't know. I just Dark Knight Death Metal just finished. and like it finished back in January, and then they did like a future state thing. Both were crazy. DC decided to drop 3 huge events in like 2 months and destroy my wallet in the process. So yeah. And now I'm just reading the current shit and a couple indie comics. Scott Snyder just dropped a Nocturna, his own little creator owned thing, which is amazing.
Image, or I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was Image. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where most people drop their creators, right?
Yeah. I know he's pretty. He works for DC, so I wasn't sure. Maybe with not Black Label, but Image makes more sense. I haven't read a lot of comics lately, though. I did read Wolverine Old Man Logan, though, for like a third or fourth time.
I haven't read that yet.
It's not bad. It's also short.
Oh, that's nice. I'm not a big fan
issues.
of like extremely long ongoing shit. Like it just kind of gets annoying
Which
after
is why
a while.
you don't touch DC.
And I enjoy being able to dip in and dip out and not have any like problems of continuity or not knowing what's going on. So
Honestly, I think that's where I need to go, is down the Adam route and not the Nick route.
So I mean, I have a few that I do a lot of right now. I'm reading this is stuff that I haven't started yet, but I got the Batwoman or Batman Catwoman.
That's very good. That is very good.
Issue 4.
Oh, the Tom King.
Yep.
It's so far it's very good. It's one of my favorites that I've ever read. I just picked up this week the next Batman Second Son because I was reading Future State, and I'm just intrigued. We'll see. I think it's only 2 issues, so if I hate it, I hate it. And then it was like this is a surprise drop because of COVID. This was originally supposed to come out a long time ago, and it didn't. And I've looked at 4 different like things online, and they all say different release dates still. And it's the first issue's out now. And it's Harley Quinn, Harley Loves Joker. It's a 2-issue thing, and it looks good.
Okay. I don't read any current books. I just read old stuff.
I highly recommend. Someone needs to read Batman White Knight, please, so I can talk to someone.
Speaking of only reading old stuff.
Yeah, Adam's lucky finding the comic book shop this week.
So I was just going through, and our comic book shop has this shelving unit. It's a 3-tier shelving unit for like a magazine rack kind of deal. And the bottom section is like just regular magazines, Mad Magazine, shit like that. Shit that no one fucking picks up at the comic book shop. And I just was like interested one day, and I squatted down and looked in the back row of that, of the bottom third. And in the back, there were a bunch of signed posters that I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw a weird comic that I was like, this is pretty interesting. And it was $5. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. I go and I pull it out. And it's Batman Dark Joker, The Wild preview. This is from January of 1993. It was just like a 1-issue thing that previewed for a whole year and then released January of 1994. And this issue, it's hologram, and it's in perfect condition still. Like all the pages, they're not even yellowed. They're beautiful, from 1993. And I looked it up, and it is worth between $6 and $200. There's no consensus. I cannot find anything online of whatever the fuck this is. So I was like, what the fuck? And what fell out of it is this little hologram Joker card that has nothing to do with the comic. It's from 1991, and it's worth between $5 and $15. And it has, literally, I think it was just like because this is hologram and the comic book cover is hologram that someone just thought that they went together and threw it in there, and it has nothing to do with the comic book. But
this brings up the point: never throw away the free little brochures they give you at the comic book shop. because today I updated my comic values. The Future State brochure that released in like December and they gave you for free. Some dumbass bought it for $95 today. So it's currently valued at $95. And it was free and it came out 5 months ago.
Damn, that's just dumb. But I'm not surprised.
I mean, I started reading comics after our last time we recorded. I found out I'm way more into indie shit than I am Marvel or DC, though.
Did you ever check out that Killer Be Killed I mentioned last time?
Yeah, I think I read a couple issues and then completely forgot about it.
Sounds about right. That's comics.
But no, I started reading. I have the Umbrella Academy, like that I haven't actually read yet. But I also picked up a graphic novel of like Hellboy that I was pretty into. But that's the extent of mine. I pick them up and then I drop them pretty quick because I don't know why.
I'm still doing that Robin Hood that we talked about the last time from Zenoscope. If you don't remember,
read more than I have.
Yeah, if you don't remember, it's like just a female version of Robin Hood set in modern day. It's very, very good. But I keep I've read a little bit and then I'm trying to like collect all of Robin Hood, and like she spins off into other characters' stuff and the big like arcs and big events in the Zenoscope comics and things like that. So trying to collect all of that is a lot. Usually every 2 months I drop another $150 to just try and get caught up as much as I can, and I still have to get fully caught up to present in buying, not reading. I'm still in like 2013 for reading, but to buy everything, I have 25 more issues to buy.
How much are the issues normally?
They're about like $3 to $7.
Not too bad then.
It differs wildly because there's always like 8 different covers, and like only the first 2 covers are like mass produced, and then the rest of them are like only 100
like 25
issues.
each.
Yeah, 100 to 25 issues, and sometimes you can only find one of those specialty issues, which is like $15.
That's cool. I just looked it up just now.
It's really good.
It's so good. And let me tell you, trying to find the actual Zenoscope does not do a great job of telling you if a character appears in like their different comics. Yes. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I emailed them and it was like, hey, like as I'm reading issues of Robin Hood, and there are multiple Robin Hood series, it goes in and be like, did you see Robin's last appearance and blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, is there a list online somewhere that I could see what issues she has appeared in that are not her own to try and figure it out? And it took me about 6 months to find one. I even emailed Zenoscope and got an actual human response back saying, we don't fucking know either. Like they were like, we don't have a like once it's over, like we forget, like we stop paying attention, like we don't like you're talking about things that happened in 2013, we don't fucking know. We're lucky to know what we're talking about in 2020. Like
they just responded, we don't know, but please let us know when you figure it out.
Yeah. Well, they have no idea what characters appear in what, but they were able to tell me. They were like, well, we can't help you here, but here's the next 4 titles of Robin Hood series, because they usually do like mini series, like 5 to 6 issue things, and then a character takes a break for 4 months and then comes back in a new mini series. But they were like, here's her next 4 titles of her mini series, so look out for them. And I'm like, holy shit. And I was like Googling it online, and I was like, no one knows about these. Like, I'm like one of, like, they just told me names of shit that haven't been released to the public yet. And I was like, all right, I guess someone really just doesn't give a shit at Zenoscope.
Just so happy someone talked to them.
Again, it's 4 people.
Yeah.
it's
They
four
have-
dudes in
Yeah,
like
they,
a
they have
subdivision.
like 12 artists, 3 writers, and then 2 people that run the business, and that's it. Like,
and
You
it's
working?
still easily some of the best comics I've ever read. Easily.
yeah.
I'm looking at it right now, and it has my attention, but
Well,
I don't know
yeah,
if it's any
so-
good. But
No, so the covers are purposely made as like breast. They
Dude,
release
pretty
nude.
lewd, yeah.
They
Yeah.
release naked covers too. Of the
Those are extraordinarily rare. They make like 5.
Yeah. But yeah, like they were like the covers are purposely very sexual, and then once you're on the inside, they're less sexual. They're
There's like midriff and a little bit of cleavage. And that's
yeah.
it.
So would you like to jump into the Snyder Cut?
actually, hey, Snyder Cut's not bad. I actually just watched the regular Justice League for an April Fool's episode on Games My Mom Found, and watching that about a month ago, then watching the Snyder Cut, huge fucking difference. It's like a completely different movie, and I don't.
Oh, yeah.
like, I
Adam, you
hate-
describe what you made me do.
Oh, so Nick and I originally planned because Nick had really never seen any of the live action DC EU films.
The only one I had seen was BVS, and that was it.
Yeah,
My condolences.
and wasn't it the
I
theater?
watched it in theaters. Yeah, I watched it in theaters.
So
Me too.
So him and I agreed, and we had enough time that we were going to watch all of the DCEU before Snyder Cut, like all the way up to new. Like, and then it was like the week before we realized that we still had like 5 movies left before we got before we finished. So Nick and I pound so many movies because we were still on that, like, let's watch all of them before Justice League Snyder Cut comes
Yep.
out. And let me tell you, the day that Nick and I watched Snyder Cut, we also watched Wonder Woman 1984 before it. So we did a double feature, and it took over 6 hours.
I
Yeah.
wasn't a huge fan of 84. You guys said it was all right.
It-
but I didn't.
It wasn't.
Eh.
It was campy.
Okay.
It was campy, and I feel like if they leaned into the campy more than trying to be serious, it would have been a better movie. They needed to lean more into the camp.
The CGI and slow-mo was overdone and fucking horribly overdone. It was bad to me. I thought it looked horrible.
I thought the Cheetah wasn't bad. The Cheetah wasn't terrible.
I think that's where all their
Oh,
money
so
went, was
like,
Cheetah.
so I was gonna say, so you mean like the end of the movie? I'm talking about when they were in like, I don't remember where, but like somewhere in the Middle East, and they like were fighting all the people on the cargo trucks. Like that whole segment was horrible to watch.
Oh yeah, that
And then-
was.
Here's my biggest issue with 84. If you're going to make a prequel, make sure it makes sense to the
Oh my
movies
God,
that
he's
come
still on about-
after it.
He's still on about it.
How does
God,
she fly
please.
at the end of 1984 but doesn't know how to fly in Batman versus Superman and Justice League?
She was jumping. She was jumping.
She was falling with style. Like that's what she's doing. Like
There's no continuality in these movies. Like they don't care. I mean, this is the most. You look at the MCU where everything is well orchestrated. You look at whatever the hell DC was up to. They don't give a shit. Especially
Yeah,
now,
it's like,
they don't care.
at least with Marvel, like, yeah, they release prequels, but they make sure like that everything makes sense and is chronologically accurate to what is fucking happening. There have been a couple mistakes, but they haven't been like big and like major mistakes. Like a character knows how to fly and then forgets.
Didn't she lasso like the lightning, and that was how she was flying or something? If I remember.
She did it for a second, and let me tell you, that was fucking amazing. And they should have just had, instead of having her fly, they should have just had her lasso lightning the whole fucking time. I'd even be happy if she lassoed a cloud and like reeled it in like a cartoon cloud, like had it like be tightened around, like that would be better.
On to the whole, like, back, just continuing on that factor. A thing that got me in Justice League, and they did it in the Snyder's Cut too, that doesn't make sense to me, is the when you first see Wonder Woman in the movie, like where she goes into like stop the bank
That
bombing.
bank, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys picked up, but they said that the bomb, one of the terrorists or whatever at one point says the bomb will level the next 4 city blocks. And when she throws it out of the roof, technically that entire building should have collapsed from like the shockwave because she does not throw it more than 4 city blocks above the fucking bank.
It's well built.
I saw
built
something
different.
that it like the theory is that maybe they had other bombs below the bank, like in the sewer systems and stuff, that
went out of range or
Well,
something.
She did
and-
this off screen, and it negated the pressure.
and they were saying that like that one bomb going off would like the fire would then go and explode the other bombs and it would be a chain reaction, and her throwing it up in the air that meant the bomb explosion could not reach the next bombs.
The fact that you have to think that far into it means that maybe things weren't well planned.
Also, that's not how
Now-
explosives work.
Now, to be fair, that is a plot hole that probably could have been fixed in reshoots had Snyder been able to do the normal reshoots.
He did do reshoots for the Zack
So,
Snyder Justice League.
He
sort
did
of.
yeah, sort of. Like he wasn't able to go and do massive things. There was a couple scenes that it was very obvious that Ben Affleck's skinny face was CGI'd on top of a Batman body. And then he said like the only scene that was reshot, or like the only scene that was shot was the end Joker stuff.
Which
like
you didn't
that.
need.
Well, you did. It was fucking amazing, and it, like I thought it was great. It was very obvious.
I wasn't a.
The batsuit did not fit Ben Affleck at all. He had the cowl on, and it was much too big for his skinny face. But
I wasn't a big fan of the 30-minute post-credit scene.
Yeah, that shit was rough.
He didn't need it because you're not getting. I mean, he just wanted to put it in there because in case he makes a second, or he wanted to make two more Justice League movies.
I mean, dude, I'd love to see a Death in the Family. Oh my god, if I could see a Death in the Family directed by Zack Snyder.
And also, if we had Zack Snyder's Jared Leto Joker,
much better.
Like that would be much
I
better.
I did like Jared Leto in that like scene. He was really good.
He was a very good Joker in Justice League. He was.
I mean, Suicide Squad, they didn't like really give him a chance, and
Yeah,
yes, they did kind of fuck him up, but
they cut a lot of his parts too.
Yeah, because originally wasn't he supposed to be the main villain of Suicide Squad, and then it was reshot with with Cara Delevingne.
I think so, something like that. I hope someday, especially now with everything going on, that they release the other cut of Suicide Squad that actually did air in some places. Some test audience did see a different cut of the movie.
At this point, I would say a like air cut of Suicide Squad is not going to happen. But if we push, the likelihood that we could now force them to make let Zack Snyder make at least one more movie is high. I think
so Warner Brothers is apparently against it, but AT&T is keeping their options open.
Yeah,
AT&T's looking into it.
AT&T wants them to do it, and
Warner Brothers is sitting here like, we didn't fuck up. No, don't let him do another one so he can prove he's really good at this.
Fucking and like AT&T definitely has the power to. AT&T's AT&T is like the Walt Disney Company, and Warner Brothers is like Disney Studios. Like it's like Warner Brothers is the film studio within AT&T. Like
yeah.
All right.
If the president of AT&T says jump, fucking or Warner Brothers has to stay high.
But Warner Brothers really likes to fuck up a lot of things, like firing Johnny Depp and keeping Amber Heard. So
yes.
All right, so let's do this right so we can get our guest talking more. But let's go through.
We do that?
True.
Yeah. What?
So
wait, aren't I the guest?
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
Very unwanted, but I guess technically yes. So in this question, then we'll make sure to cut Nick out of it. But let's go through just like quick your feelings on the movies leading up to Justice League, and then we'll cover the overall Snyder Cut, which we'll have a lot to talk about. But let's just go through movie by movie, kind of the general feel of it, like how you thought about it, maybe some key points that you think about. We'll just go off of that.
There's only 4 movies before Justice League first came out. Yeah, because it's Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman came out like a month or 2 before JL.
Yeah.
Man of Steel, I don't remember very much. I know when I saw it in theaters, I enjoyed it, and I remember leaving like, this is a pretty good movie. I haven't seen it since then, so I have no
really
like.
liked it.
I think out of
Recollection of it.
everything in those, like out of those 4 movies, definitely the best one. And I would say probably definitely still in the probably number 2 in all of them. 2, maybe 3. If you want to, I don't know. Aquaman is good, so I don't know. I think
Aquaman's good. Birds of Prey is supposed to be really good.
I liked it.
Haven't seen it yet.
It's. We'll get to Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
I have Adam and I have different opinions on Birds of Prey.
I don't think it was needed for the whole thing, but
Probably not. BVS is complete utter garbage.
Which
I-
one?
Extended cut's good. Extended cut's good.
I only seen the original
Okay,
theatrical one.
so
I do want to
Alright.
watch the extended cut because I heard that adds a lot of things and fixes things. But the regular one that they
It
released in
explains
theaters,
so much. It makes it so much better.
garbage movie in theaters.
so
Yeah,
Boring,
Yes.
stupid.
as someone who watched the extended cut, still don't think most of that movie was needed.
here's the thing: is like the way Zack Snyder makes his movies is there's a lot of things that you go, that's not needed, but then when you take it out, then you get the theatrical cut, and you're like, wow, like Zack Snyder makes such dense films that every second is at the same time unnecessary and 100% necessary to understand the next second.
So this is the part where I just start singing for 5 minutes while you walk in the water and disappear, and I just keep singing after you're gone.
That was fucking stupid. That was
Yes,
weird.
it was.
That was something that I agree with Joss Whedon. Like that was
You didn't need it.
Why do I not remember? What the fuck are you guys talking about?
It's when
Snyder Cut.
Aquaman first shows
Yeah.
up. I mean,
Yeah.
I was okay with
right.
it, but it was too long. Like they can start singing, then he leaves, cut the scene, go elsewhere because they took out the
Yeah,
stupid fish jokes.
alright,
so I was
yeah.
happy. There's no fish jokes in Zack Snyder's cut.
so then it's Wonder Woman. Or it's Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. I remember
Yeah.
liking that movie.
It was-
I don't remember a whole
Extended
lot.
cut was it was fine. Like there's nothing to write home about. Like I wouldn't go watch it again out of my way, but it was fine.
I enjoyed it from what I remember. But
It's one of those movies that if I'm clicking through TV channels, which I don't do anymore,
Not the '90s.
yeah.
If it was on, I'd watch it, but I wouldn't personally put it on myself.
Yeah, like if I scrolled past it on the TV, I would be like, all right, like I'll watch it as I start, like I'll watch it in the upper right hand corner of DirecTV while I keep scrolling the guide until I've run out of things to look for. And just like,
it was
fuck
comedic. I mean,
I mean,
Fun, yeah.
Margot Robbie and Will Smith saved that movie, and they're
Yeah.
the only
Yeah.
really to stand.
I mean,
out.
Captain Boomerang was good. I like Captain Boomerang.
Personally, I think you could just take Will Smith out of it and just say that Margot Robbie made the movie in general, but whatever. Maybe that's just a personal preference there.
Will Smith is good in that movie though too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman. I thought Wonder Woman was good.
Only seen it
Fine.
once and I
was good.
loved it.
It was decent. I mean,
I think, didn't we watch that in theaters, Adam? Wasn't that a Last Monday movie? Didn't we watch Wonder Woman in theaters? No.
No, that was before college.
Was it? Fuck, God, it was.
Yeah.
So I watched that with Morgan when her and I were together the first time.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah.
odd.
Weird how alcohol really fucks up your memory.
we watched Shazam. Jeff, we watched Shazam, and
That's it. That's the superhero movie we watched.
That's a good movie.
I thought Wonder Woman was like on par with Iron Man 1. Like now, like it's not like I when I watch like the MCU, I go Iron Man 1's good. It's not the best. It's like not in the top 5 best MCU.
It's a great
films.
opening movie.
Yeah, that's how Wonder Woman was. I was like, like this is adequate. This is a good movie. It's not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but
Wonder Woman, just the fact that it was set in World War One, got me really excited because you don't see that time frame a lot. So I like Wonder Woman a lot.
my favorite part of Wonder Woman is that there's a blonde actor named Chris who fought in a world war and flew a plane to his death. I mean, it's never been done before. I swear.
Never. No, not at all. Chris Pine is a very underrated Chris in Hollywood.
That's still good. Aquaman, I only saw it once, but I remember really liking Aquaman. But I'm also a huge Aquaman fan. So I got to get Black Manta and Ocean Master. So I was happy.
And
Aquaman is very underrated.
Nick and I we kept laughing. It was like, because Amber Heard is so hot.
Yeah,
So
And-
hot.
But
Oh.
whenever I look at her, all I think of is her squatting and taking a shit on a pillow now. Like, that's all I think of.
was that one of the things she did to Johnny Depp? That came
Yeah,
out?
she squatted and took a shit in front of him on his pillow.
I mean,
People into that shit.
Like, but then, like, this is like, have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother, Mike? And they talk about
unfortunately, all 10 seasons.
it's a great show. What are you talking about?
It was till it ended.
And Barney explains the hotness versus crazy scale.
Oh yeah.
And Amber Heard is peak hotness, which means peak crazy. She is the 12 times 12 on the multiplication table of that. Like, there's don't get higher than this. Like, this is the final point. And it is, would I have sex with Amber Heard for her to shit on my pillow when we were done? And the answer is still yes.
But I'm not happy about it.
I'm going to enjoy everything. She's going to shit on my pillow and I never want to speak to her again. Like, it's
It'd be worth it, I'm pretty sure.
it's worth it, but
it'd be something, that's for fucking sure.
well, then we did there was Shazam is so good.
Shazam was great.
Shazam was really good.
Yeah.
So Jeff and I did this thing in college called Flask Mondays, where we would sneak flasks full of random, like, we wouldn't even make mixers, we would just mix different alcohols in flasks, and then him and I would sneak the flasks into the movie theater and watch a movie.
Good times. We watched Shazam. We watched Us, right? We watched Us.
We went and saw Us.
We watched a couple other movies. I can't remember what they were, though.
I have a weird feeling. Didn't we see The Lion King live action?
No, I
No need to
watched
see
that
that.
with. No, I watched that with Chris
Traumatizing.
the first time.
Garbage.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
I didn't
They
remember.
but I will say, the whole his father dying scene does hit a little bit different in live action.
Yeah.
What's after Shazam?
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
So Birds of Prey has a character.
Nothing to do with Justice League whatsoever.
No.
Birds of Prey, Cassandra Cain makes me
Horrible.
physically angry.
yes.
That whole character makes me physically angry.
Cassandra Cain is an amazing character in the comics. You can do so much with Cassandra Cain, and they threw her away on a street urchin.
They made her a fuckwad that does the dumbest shit and then tells her that she's the greatest thing in the world.
Yep.
It,
Now-
Was she?
that was
Who was the actress that
definitely-
played her?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I don't care.
Perfect. I'm just trying to remember, but whatever. Continue on, everyone. I will
Small
figure it
Asian
out.
child.
But
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Huntress was
Cassandra
phenomenal.
Cain, amazing.
Huntress
I
was
think
phenomenal.
she was awkward, but I feel like it was on purpose and it was well done.
Margot Robbie, exquisite. Ewan McGregor, fantastic.
Amazing. I'm tired of
Ewan-
watching Victor Zsasz be wasted as a fucking hitman, but that's just me.
Ewan
Get the Arkham
McGregor's
games for that.
Ewan McGregor's final scene in that movie, I don't want to spoil it for you, Mike, but his final scene in the movie is one of the greatest scenes ever. Sadly, the 25 minutes leading up to that scene,
Fucking
Is-
horrendous.
some of the worst filmmaking I've ever seen in my life.
It honestly made the movie seem too long because of that scene.
It was rough.
Yeah. So I would say that
Nothing-
movie,
it was
that movie had
over-choreographed.
some really good scenes, and it had very good actors playing very cool characters, and the movie was still bad.
It's got Ramona Flowers, so I'm all interested. I don't know why I've never watched it yet. But one of these days.
Which one was Ramona Flowers?
The girl
I
played
don't
Huntress. Was
Ah,
Ramona Flowers. Yeah.
Sky High.
Pilgrim.
Yeah,
I call her
yeah.
Sky High Girl.
Yeah, Sky High Girl. She's great. She's awesome. Again, she did an amazing job with Huntress. I hope they bring her back to do something with Batman in the future as Huntress. She's great. Yeah,
That's
I'm
everything.
still angry. I'm still angry at Cassandra Cain. That's really the big, because again,
That's the
Cassandra
worst
Cain's
part
an
of the whole
amazing
film.
character. An amazing character, honestly. Like, you can do so much with Cassandra Cain. Like, the story arcs are just innumerable, and you turned her into a fat street urchin, and I'm angry.
The ending of the
Violently.
movie also was kind of just bleh. Like the very end was just kind of like eh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also, I didn't like Renee Montoya. But
Yeah, no, she was also awful.
that was something that I could look past as one of the normal bad things in every movie versus the other very bad things in this movie.
In quick overview, story, certain characters played really well by really good actresses. Other characters were fucking dog shit. Overall
Yep.
movie, just bleh because of
I'd
it.
give it a
Yeah.
6 out of 10. And 3 of those points, or 5 of those points are because of the actors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
On my
agreed.
list.
Agreed. I'd agree
One
with
day to
that.
watch.
What,
Yeah. So Snyder Cut versus Whedon Cut.
Whedon cut, fucking garbage.
Yes.
Whedon Cut,
100%.
fucking awful. It did have
Better than everyone's made it
few
seem to be.
moments.
With having watched all the movies leading up to the theatrical cut, fucking I watched Justice League and I felt like I had no idea what the fuck was happening. I was like, there's so much missing here.
One of the problem with Justice League, you have that stupid, like, Russian family, wherever they are, that just is just there.
Yeah.
Oh, look, the parademons are going to kill them all. We better go hide underneath our bed. Like, I mean, you saw
With
none of that's in the
bug spray.
Zack Snyder cut. I was okay
Bug
with that.
spray.
It was just stupid.
There were no casualties in that area because in Snyder Cut they said that there was a like nuclear reactor problem that happened.
Sure,
like,
no-
It was
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
basically, yeah.
Chernobyl.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it works. I mean, granted, Ben Affleck would have fucking died, but we can get past that point.
Oh,
He has
I'm
a lot
okay
of
that-
money.
He wasn't as like suicidal in this movie as he was in the Joss Whedon cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no stupid fish jokes for Aquaman. That was nice. There's 2 in the Joss Whedon cut, but there's none in the
and
Zack
so
Snyder cut.
there are 2 things I missed from the Joss Whedon cut. One was where
Fish
Batman
joke.
says to Flash, "Rescue one."
Yeah.
That scene.
I
Okay,
thought
that
that scene was a really good scene, and I was very sad that happens to be Joss Whedon because I liked the new scene. I wish that it was still a part of it somehow. Like they could have figured out a way to keep the
'Cause-
save one.
Josh Whedon's was the one where he saves, like, Flash saves the family, and then he looks over and Superman's carrying an entire building, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Wait, we got the Flash scene with hot dogs because that made
True.
sense.
That
So-
was
random,
That
but
was awful.
My
You could've cut
biggest
that out.
thing, my biggest thing about the first Justice League was the lack of, like, build up of Flash and Flash and
Cyborg.
Cyborg. Like,
Yeah,
there's just
bad.
no. It's just they're here now. Congrats. Like,
You had to introduce Cyborg. I feel Flash could maybe gotten away because you have the Flash TV shows going on at this time. You have another Flash show from the 80s. Like Flash is a character that has been around. Cyborg is not a character unless you watch the Teen Titans cartoon or Teen Titans Go. You're not going to know who the hell Cyborg is.
they're just Titans are. He's in Doom Patrol, right?
Now, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he is. I didn't even watch the second season of that.
I need to go
start
back
that
and
someday.
actually watch Doom Patrol because I watched bits and pieces with Nick at work, and that shit was lit.
No, we're never getting the actor from JL Cyborg ever again, though. That's
Yeah, he's pissed off Warner Brothers to no end, and Warner Brothers has pissed him off to no end.
Yeah.
So
But for Snyder Cut, very happy that they actually did a backstory for Cyborg. Was it rushed and kind of like, yeah, but it was at least something.
So
I
like,
didn't find
was-
it rushed. I didn't find it rushed. It seemed rushed amongst that was a full movie for
Yeah,
Cyborg.
yeah.
That was an hour and a half movie of Cyborg, and it felt rushed in a 87-hour movie. But
Yeah, true.
It was the Snyder Cut brought a lot of elements from the animated movie Justice League War. There were a lot of elements from that. At least from the beginning with the relationship between Cyborg and his dad and shit like that.
It was good, though. I also really like that actor that plays his dad. That guy is awesome.
yeah, sadly, that guy has awful luck with technology.
True.
He was in
Nick-
Eureka, too. Didn't go so well either.
Yeah, Nick looks confused. That guy was one of the workers on the Terminator stuff. He was
in
one
the
of
first movie.
Yeah, he was one of the scientists to create Terminators.
He's also in Eureka, and he was
Okay.
also on Scandal. 2 TV shows that are pretty good.
Scandal is very good.
Yes, it is.
I've seen the first 2 seasons, and then my girlfriend stopped being interested in it.
It gets fucking.
I want to
weird,
keep
but it's worth
watching it.
It's really dark.
I'm also happy that they actually did like team building in Snyder Cut, because it just went from, on the theatrical version, it was just Aquaman being a dick and Cyborg also being a dick back, and then all of a sudden they were just working together in the final fight. And it's like, oh, okay.
I am kind of sad that they got rid of the Aquaman.
Yeah, that was the other scene I missed from.
That was a good scene.
Which scene?
When Aquaman's sitting on the lasso of truth, and
Okay, that was funny.
That was funny, and I feel like it fit in with Snyder's comedy.
We're all gonna die. Also, you're really hot.
Yeah,
He wasn't wrong.
If you and me went 12 rounds, like.
I also missed the scene where it was Wonder Woman talking to Batman in like his little part of like his own little section of the plane where he like they talk about her becoming a leader.
I was fine without it.
I don't know. I thought I liked that scene. I mean, yes, was it needed? No, but I thought it was.
I love the relationship between Batman and Wonder Woman from the animated series, and that was a little bit like of a little homage to that.
How blue are you, Nick? Is that what reminded you of? You get the reference, or? Nope. Okay.
Barely. No, I haven't watched it in a couple of years, and I need to go
There's
back.
the episode where she gets turned into the pig, and Batman has to sing "How blue are you?" Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no, I do remember that. I do remember that. Yes.
I've never watched a Justice League cartoon.
They're so good.
Honestly,
they're terraforming the Earth. How can you tell? The water's
those
on
are the
fire.
movies. We're talking about the original shit from
I've
from
seen
the
show
2000s.
Too. Yeah, I watched
Justice League and then Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I went and I torrented all of them, got them downloaded. This is 5 years ago, before we had 10,000 streaming services that carry all this shit.
It just sucks how many there are now, because now there's like Paramount Plus, and it's like, but that has stuff I would like to watch also, but I don't want to pay for 24 things.
But so I went and I watched the Batman animated series, and as soon as I finished it, I turned around and was like, I wonder if I could make this like a serial, because it's an episodic show. Like the story is wrapped up at the end of every episode, and they just episodes are just made randomly. Do we want to have Two-Face in this episode? Sure, yeah, let's do it. Who gives a shit? And so I thought about making it serial, so where like at the end of you build to the big cartoony villains, Joker, Two-Face, and stuff, and you start with more grounded things, and then if like a character goes to Arkham Asylum at the end of the episode, they are not the villain in the next episode, kind of deal. And me and a guy on Reddit, while I was a freshman in college, created a serialized watch order for the Batman animated show. And so I watched through that in 3 times instead of watching the rest of the DC animated TV shows.
They're really good.
I watched Superman, and then I got like 3 episodes into Beyond and Static Shock, and that's where I stopped.
If Nick or Adam can give me an actual watch order for the animated stuff that's on HBO Max, I'll watch them.
Movies or series?
Shows.
I'll send it to you. I got it.
I've never like sat down and watched Batman shit. I only really watched Justice League.
I'll send you a watch order, Jeff. I got
Perfect.
them all.
Batman's good, but
because I can't lie, the amount of times Nick would go on patrol when we worked nights, and he wouldn't log out of the DC whatever it was. I would just sneak onto the computer, open up the tab, and just start watching a rant. Like I love Batman Beyond because it just reminds me, it's just nostalgic to me. So I just like watched all that, and it was like nice. I love the animated ones. I don't know why. Maybe it's just all nostalgia to me because I don't actually really remember, but I remember watching them, but I don't remember any of the plot of any of them.
Static Shock holds a special place in my heart because I actually think Static Shock was like one of the first. Like I think it might have been the Static Shock and the Spider-Man 1990s cartoon were like the first 2 superhero shows I ever watched.
Static Shock's not too bad. I don't remember much of it, but I remember watching it when I was a kid.
I just thinking it
was
was
decent,
super cool of like he would just run down the street and grab a random piece of tinfoil floating in the sky and turn it into his little hoverboard thing. And I thought that was dope.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Why
let's
was
get
there
back-
tinfoil flying in the sky? Who fucking knows? But
all those fucking sidewalk hot dogs, my guy.
Yeah.
Oh, stuff.
Let's get back onto the Snyder Cut. Let's go into this a little bit. I mean, we went into it on Plastered Paladins with Dirk, but Dirk has very strong viewpoints on things.
I like mostly, even though they added like additional 2 hours to this movie, it didn't, and even then they even added more because they cut out stuff. It didn't feel, it didn't bother me. I mean, I watched it over the course of like 5 sittings, and I watched.
Same. I watched it part by part, pretty much. I watched the first 2 parts in the first sitting, and then I watched it like part by part after that.
No. You gotta do it one-hit wonder style.
I fucking couldn't, dude. I fucking couldn't. I just watched it in bits
Nick
and
and
pieces at work.
Nick and I
Oh my
stopped to
God.
pee, and that is all.
That's how some people did. I mean, I know some people watched the entire series, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I watched enough.
It was-
Like, but it's enjoyable.
I can never do that. I can never sit down and watch an entire movie series in like a day, like a marathon. Like I can't fucking do it. I'll fucking
Only
kill
way
myself.
I'd be editing all day if I did. The only way I could do it. I edit while I watch movies usually. This one too. But that's neither here nor there. But this movie, like, it surprisingly was very entertaining for me. Like I am not a big fan. I do not like Snyder movies. I don't like any of them, especially Sucker Punch. That movie's garbage.
That movie is
But-
terrible, but it's very sexy.
I've never seen it.
It's very
It
sexy.
is sexy, but just read the Robin Hood comic instead. That looks better than the fucking Sucker
Or
Punch.
just look it up on Pornhub and find the best scenes.
It's a bad movie, but I enjoyed
300, great
this
movie. 300, great movie.
Never seen
300
it.
is good. 300 is very good. Don't watch the second one, but 300 is very good.
Isn't there like a third
Yeah.
one too or something?
I think
know.
they were
No,
going
after
to
this-
make a third one,
and then
and
the
it
second
didn't
one
happen.
sucked
Yeah,
so
the second
much,
one
yeah.
was so bad.
Was the third one Snyder though?
The second one wasn't Snyder, I don't even think.
Oh.
It looks like his style though, but I've never seen it.
Well, yeah,
Either.
well, because it was a direct sequel, so it was new director, new writer, same style.
Nah.
Eh.
Zack Snyder's better when he's adapting something than when he's creating something of his own. But this one worked. I mean, he is throwing in a bunch of different plot lines from the comic. You have the death of Superman. He's trying to work in here, which, but it's still like the fact that they took the thing with Steppenwolf and they have Darkseid being the one that originally came to Earth and fought the gods. That scene was really damn cool too. Way better
Yeah,
than
it
the
was.
original cut.
What they should have done is split. Like, if I saw Snyder's cut in theaters, I would have been angry because that is too long for a theater movie.
That's why
Yes.
they purposely did this for HBO.
Endgame fucking pushed it.
Yeah, Endgame was
Yeah.
like 3.5 hours.
I mean, this never. You could have easily cut out 45 minutes of this movie. And
Yeah.
the Snyder
Cut
cut
the hot
and been
dog scene.
just fine.
Cut out the
yeah,
hot
there
dog
was
Or-
easily
or-
45
or,
minutes
you know,
to get rid of, and that would have been
cut
normal
that-
and fine.
scene. Cut how 10% of the movie's in slow motion, drop that shit down to 5%, and you're fine.
Also, cut out most of the epilogue. You don't need it.
Cut
It-
just go you literally cut out the scene where Superman gets revived and cut out the entire scene of him, the Flash, running in slow-mo and like looking at each other.
Oh, that was
That was
great.
horrible.
That was
That's-
amazing.
I'm
That's,
with you.
that's awesome.
Oh, I love that scene so much.
Oh my god.
My
it was-
and then the scene where Flash runs into Aquaman, and that was
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Also, that stupid part where Diane Lane is talking to Lois about the apartment and it's not even
Yeah.
her. It's just Martian Manhunter pretending
Yeah.
to be her.
yeah.
that should have like
Cut that out.
honestly, the scene of them talking was fine. I enjoyed that scene, and then he walked like she walked out of the apartment, and then it was Martian Manhunter, and I was like, you should have cut as soon as the conversation was over. That was stupid.
Also, in the ending scene where Martian Manhunter shows up to say, "I'll be with you for next time." That was supposed to be Jon Stewart originally, but as
Was it
things
really?
changed, yeah. But there's no. I mean, because they were going to have so many more movies, but it didn't work out so well.
Okay,
Yeah, because
so
I know there was things that like that whole ending with Joker and stuff was written because Snyder actually had like a Justice League trilogy like outlined. And so he like really quickly was like, okay, and all of his reshoots were essentially, what can I add that makes sense in Justice League, my Justice League 1 from the other two Justice Leagues, probably to piss off Warner Brothers and try and get
Yeah.
people to want him to make another movie.
the second movie was supposed to be them fighting the Legion of Doom with Deathstroke and Lex Luthor, and at the end of that, I think Darkseid's supposed to invade, and the third movie would have been where Lois dies, Superman joins Darkseid, and then
It
is
was-
them trying to go back in time.
I liked
essentially
Darkseid from
Avengers Endgame.
Darkseid was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, when Darkseid used the Omega beams, Adam and I both
That
screamed.
was cool.
yeah, that was super dope.
As soon as oh god, Omega beams.
But hey, the only problem, we didn't get the quote. You're going, you can handle it, big tough guy. I normally have to hold back, but with you, I don't have to. We didn't get that quote.
I
You know,
love
okay. I see the smile.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
I love
I got to make that every time.
how they what's the fucking thing, the face thing that we do now where we put someone else's face on top of someone else. You know what I'm talking about, like face swapping.
Face
or whatever.
morph. Oh yeah.
Face
face swap.
morph, face swapping, where they did it with Ares from where they put the actor who played Ares from Wonder
Yeah.
Woman, and it's very poorly done onto the stuntman who did it in Justice League. That was hilarious. I mean, also I gave that a pass because obviously if they could have, they probably would have brought David Thewlis back to do something for that, but
I do love the fact that he put in a scene of Superman going back to his ship and picking out his uniform, like his super suit uniform, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I've seen a lot of hate online of people like the explanation of why he has his black suit makes zero sense and going through, and then people explain it to them of like it's to help regenerate him faster and for healing purposes.
Yeah.
Like, well then why wasn't that explained? And also I'm like, why does everything have to be explained? He picks a black suit, he goes up to the sun, goes in Jesus pose, and then saves the world. You don't need an explanation for that. That is literally something like, if you really want to know, look it up. It doesn't need to be explained.
Also, if you watch Man of Steel, they talk about when he's on Earth, there's a part where they talk about how the reason he grew so strong so fast is because he absorbs the radiation from the solar flares compared to other human beings. Like, that's how he's getting his power.
And then if you just think about our everyday science, black absorbs heat.
Yeah.
So it's safe to
Heat
assume
radiation.
that if he needs the sun and the radiation from the sun to be powerful and black absorbs that, that might be why.
I saw something, it was only like one little post right after it came out about people being like, how did he fly into the like space and like not die from breathing? He's not fucking human. They explained that in Man of Steel also, you dumbass. They brought him out on a fucking spaceship and they're like, oh, humans can't breathe here, but Kryptonians can. And it's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Also, almost every single time Superman appears in any movie, he's in space past our atmosphere and is breathing. Like, that's just the thing that he does in every movie.
Henry Cavill, aka definitely like my number one actor right now, just because of Witcher and him being able to play Superman. So fucking good.
He's great.
I don't know if we'll ever get him again, but yeah.
No, I mean as Superman, no, but I mean we have him as the Witcher. Witcher season 2 is supposed to come out this year.
They just finished recording.
I've heard that HBO Max is trying to work with Snyder and Cavill to make a Man of Steel 2 on HBO Max.
Cavill will do it. Like that's the thing is he will 100%.
He
let's
loves
do it.
comics. He loves
really
comics.
Down
he loves
to,
video
it's
games.
really down to HBO Max bypassing Warner Brothers and going to AT&T and AT&T telling Warner Brothers to suck this fat cock that's called Henry Cavill. And
I can't see it happening.
Will it happen? Probably not, but
it would be cool.
Yeah.
I would. I think the Snyder directed Death in the Family thing, I think it could just be like a 15-minute scene, like that stupid cartoon thing that they did. If they just did that in live action with Jared Leto directed by Zack Snyder, I feel like
I don't know. I'd love to see a Red Hood. I'd love to see
that would be very cool.
Big screen
Honestly, we just gotta wait for Flashpoint to come out and figure out what the fuck they're doing with everything.
I'm excited for Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad looks amazing.
Suicide Squad looks very awesome.
So I got a couple hot takes here. Kind of hot takes, but you guys heard them on Plastered Paladins. I don't know if you guys were too drunk like I was to remember it, but I remember talking about it. Hey, I live by the name of I live by the name of the show, man. Plastered Paladins. I gotta go in there drunk as fuck. So two things. One, I don't know if you've seen the meme about other movies making extended cuts because of the Snyder
Yes.
Cut. So
Yeah.
there's a meme that's like, it's like a meme. It's like, oh, Marvel's going to release an extended cut of Endgame and it's going to be 6 hours long. And there's one that is for Lord of the Rings, and it says Lord of the Rings is now going to go back and release the extended cut version of the trilogy, and it will be exactly 8.5 days long.
Yeah.
And 2, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Steppenwolf was actually a hero in Snyder's Cut.
Yeah.
Because he might have been trying to change the Earth, but he did choke out and kill Amber Heard.
Yes.
Yes. Also, Mira's British accent was something I was very happy to see gone in the Whedon cut. Like, that is another aspect of the Whedon cut I'm okay with, is her not having a British accent.
Yeah.
Barely even in the Whedon cut at all.
That's don't matter. Her with a British accent, it wasn't a good British accent, and it not good at all. Hated it.
Those are my
So-
2 hot takes. Well, one it's a hot take, the other one's just a funny meme.
I'm
So
just
imagine-
sad that she's
Just imagine an extended cut of fucking Lord of the Rings.
That would suck. I don't even like the current extended cuts.
I've
Like,
never seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I
on
made-
HBO Max.
I made the mistake when my friends told me I had to go see Lord of the Rings. For years I'd been hearing it, and then I learned how to download movies. And I went and I just downloaded them. Didn't check anything. The site that I used to use didn't tell me extended cut or not. And then I plugged them in and watched them, not knowing that I had downloaded the extended cuts. And people have always told me that I just need to see Lord of the Rings, and hated every fucking grueling second of. I watched all 3 in one fucking day because I had nothing to do when I was in high school. Like, and it was the worst experience of my life because I was like, why does everyone say these movies are great? They are fucking 4 hours long each. This is the worst day of my life.
I feel like that's
And-
just something you have to get into early to like Lord of
Well,
the Rings.
and,
Like,
like,
I don't
probably-
like it either.
Probably if I saw the theatrical cuts, I would have enjoyed it, but I made an unknown mistake and ruined the whole franchise. But I like The Hobbit, so
Don't watch them all at once. That makes them better.
that was the next thing. Like, by the time I got like the first 25 minutes of the 3rd movie, I was like ready to just jump out the window. Like, it was not. I was not having a good day.
I like the video games.
There's some good games. They're a good series. You just gotta be in the right mindset too, I think.
You just
maybe
really
not in
got to
high
be
school.
into that type of a fantasy setting to really
Yeah.
enjoy it. And I don't think which is weird because we all play D&D, but like that's not the type of fantasy setting I enjoy.
No,
I
don't know.
I don't.
enjoy. I like reading that kind of fantasy. I like that. Watching that kind of fantasy is a little meh to me.
The only like real fantasy I watch, and it's dark fantasy, is anime, and I don't even watch a whole lot of that. But the 2 actual series I've watched, I've loved, and one of them is Berserk. I think
Good show.
Berserk. I fucking love Berserk. I watched Berserk and I fell in love. I was like, I'm gonna fucking love anime. And then there's nothing else like Berserk. Like, I looked up on Google, is like, what other shows do you recommend if you watch Berserk? And people would like list them. I watched like 5-6 episodes, and I'm just like, nope, not the same.
God Eater was pretty decent.
God Eater was great. That was the second one I watched. God Eater was really good. And then I guess Goblin Slayer. But they actually apparently came out with a Goblin Slayer movie recently, and they just announced that they are doing a 2nd season of it. So
Check out Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen is pretty good. It's pretty.
I like the first 2 episodes of what was that? Dragon's Dogma or whatever on Netflix.
Dragon's Dogma is a Western anime right now is in an amazing place. With Dragon's
I need to
Dogma,
go back and watch
Castlevania.
I need to go
Castlevania is
back.
amazing.
Finish Dragon's Dogma. I also need to finish Helsing because I watched like Helsing was really good from
Hellsing
what
was
I
good.
saw.
Go to
I,
Dragon's Blood is really good.
So my one roommate in college, I always had this thing, like, I hate anime, and it's because my first introduction to anime was Yu-Gi-Oh, and I thought that was fucking awful. And then like I would watch Pokemon,
You want to
and
know mine?
well, and Pokemon is like similar to Yu-Gi-Oh in a sense when you're 8, and I was like, this is
It's
also
cool
fucking
big monsters fighting each other. It's
Yeah,
literally why
but it's-
Godzilla and Kong
but-
didn't do so well, because
but
big
card
monsters
game.
fight.
Card game, and that ruined everything for me. And so I was like, fuck this shit, and I hated anime. I refused to watch it, and my one roommate was like, hey, this is a fun anime, it's hot as hell, and the English dub is good, because I also have a problem with reading subtitles if they're there.
I'm a dubber. I get it.
So Adam,
I have to read them, and I can't focus on anything else but the subtitles. And sometimes the subtitles go faster than what I can read, so I need English dub.
so Adam, you told me to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, and I did. To repay that, I will sit down and watch Berserk with you. It is 3
Okay.
movies and 3 seasons long, but the actual episodes are like 20 minutes without commercials. They're not terribly long. We'll watch it. I love it. I mean, I would assume you would probably find it. If you watch, the movies aren't great, but you need the movies to understand anything that's fucking happening in the actual series.
It's like Lilo and Stitch. You have to watch the movie
That's a
before you
really
watch
weird
the show.
comparison. It's a really weird comparison.
But
Yes, it is.
so my buddy showed me Kill la Kill, and he's like, it's very sexy, and the English dub is very good. And I watched it, and I was like, this is fucking great. It hits me in all the right places, specifically one place, and that's the most important place.
I heard,
And
I've never watched it, but I hear a lot of people recommend for people trying to get into anime that Hunter x Hunter is a great first like show to watch. I've never
That's what
seen
I've
it,
heard, too.
but I've heard that apparently that is the go-to show if you were trying to get into anime.
but then I met these guys, and at one point in college, one of our roommates was watching Ghost Stories, and it's
Yeah.
some anime, and I thought I really enjoyed that. And then one of our friends started this one Hulu show. It's not made for Hulu, but it's on Hulu. And it's like, I think it's My Hero Academy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that. Who are you talking? Well, I was gonna say, are you talking about Grace? But honestly, everyone in the house,
Justin.
they all
My
watched
Hero
it.
Academia.
Yeah, My Hero
Yeah,
Academia. They
It's
all
something of
watched.
like he's like the most powerful
I've
magic
never watched
user ever, and then goes to the school and thinks
Yeah.
he can do anything and does do anything because he can.
Yeah, that's
All
My
right.
Hero Academia. Yeah,
And that was decent. That's not something that's like
You
that's
need
like
to
a
watch-
Suicide Squad for me. If it's on, I'll watch it, but I won't like look for it.
you need to watch Goblin Slayer because there's literally just D&D classes, but Goblin Slayer is called Goblin Slayer because the main character's name is Goblin Slayer because he only takes quests that involve killing goblins in dungeons.
What's
He's
the
like
one where
he's like a
there's-
max level character, but he only does goblin slaying quests.
What's the one where they're stuck in a video game?
SAO.
Yeah. Well, there's
It's
a
a good
couple.
show.
SAO.
There's a couple.
SAO is
now,
amazing. I love
but
SAO.
SAO is good.
The one where like
Um,
you're in a vegetative state, and if you die in the
yeah.
game, you die.
Yes,
in the
that's
game.
SAO.
So yeah,
Yep.
that's sort of
It's amazing. I love it.
The fuck, what's it called? I started
I
watching.
would
another
watch
one.
SAO with you. I'd love SAO.
I need
Sword
to
Art
actually
Online for
English
those that
English
don't know.
dub or sub?
English.
It's got really good dubs.
Good. Good.
Um,
There's one that I watched that the English dub was like so off of what was being said, and like a brother and sister were like very sexual to each other and talked about squeezing each other's asses and dicks and stuff, and it was very weird.
that might have just been hentai, my friend.
Yeah.
But
What site were you
I,
on? What
I
website?
don't control what Garrett shows me.
I can't remember the name.
That was probably hentai then.
So there's
Sounds like it.
Can't
there's
wait for
another
Garrett to listen
show.
to this.
There's another show that's kind of like Sword Art Online, except instead of a video game, it's a book. And there's 4 people from the real world that each find a book, and it's called like the Bearer of. I think the show's called like the Bearer of the Shield, or the Shield Guardian, or something. It's some. I can't remember the name, but basically there's 4 books around the world, and when they are all found by someone, they all get teleported into this other dimension because they are now the guardians of this other dimension. They have to level up and learn how to defend it, like use their weapons and stuff. And it follows the protagonist who got the shield because there's a bow, a spear, and a sword, and he got the shield. So he's literally going through leveling up just a shield, trying to learn how to fight and defend himself and other people with only a shield. And it is quite entertaining from the couple episodes I watched.
I was forced to watch Tokyo Ghoul.
Never seen
Like
that.
Garrett.
I've heard of it though.
It was
That's a lot of anime.
Yeah, honestly.
Death Note's pretty good though. If you ever watch Death Note.
I
I've
started
watched
it.
the movie. Of it.
I liked the movie.
The movie's bad, but I enjoyed it too.
I liked it. It was.
So
I want to
know-
see that like shot for shot remake in 3D CGI of Pokemon. I really want to see that. I've never seen the 2D animation version. Because I've never watched a Pokemon movie ever.
Detective
I know
Pikachu is pretty funny.
I've seen Detective Pikachu, but I don't really think that's Pokemon.
No, it's not, but it is a good movie. I love that movie.
But yeah, I really want to watch that Mewtwo thing, and I'm hoping that at some point NSYNC, because I know NSYNC did a song for a Pokemon movie, and I hope it's this one.
Oh my god, fucking anime.
NSYNC's great, so
I always have this weird urge to watch anime, and I watch like 3 or 4 episodes. And I'm like, I'm good for a while.
I mean,
And
I'm
then-
still trying to work myself up into watching Fate.
Shit was too confusing.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Is it a long, complicated
get the-
anime then?
Yeah, well, there's like
none of it
3,
makes sense. Yeah.
There's like 3 different series of it, and you have to try to find the right order to watch them. And it's
And
yeah,
then
it's
like
all
no
over
one
the
can
place.
agree on what's the right order. Really, the only ones that are straightforward are Zero, which was really good, and Apocrypha, which is also really good, and those are standalones in completely different universes.
Fucking rough.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. It's good though. Mass Effect Remaster coming out May 17th.
Well, I heard they're reworking the combat system for the first.
Very slightly. Like they're adding different cover points. Because like in the fight against Benezia, apparently like it's a horrible fight on hard. So they're adding a couple different cover points because apparently in the original, the cover was all destructible, and by the end of the fight, you just didn't have cover.
I was hoping they were gonna get rid of that shitty ass fucking overheating. No, I heard they did actually rework the Manko mechanics. to make it work. I read that a couple days ago. They are doing like I don't know if it was true, but from the article it said that like they're overhauling how the Mako works, so you can no longer get fucked by
The
the Mako.
screenshots of the graphics look amazing.
Even
Like
the
the
original
gra-
still holds up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
played it last year. It's still good.
I played it, yeah, I think last year, a year before, and I literally just I put a mod on it, only one. It was just to overhaul the graphics. That was it.
Have you seen the graphics for have you seen screenshots of the new first
Yeah.
one? It looks exactly like the third.
Mhm.
The graphics now look exactly like the third game.
I feel like that wasn't super hard for them to do though, since they already had the engine
So-
run the third one.
So did you hear
It is
how
EA though.
it is 100%? It is 99% of everything from the original series, except for one DLC from the first game that made a training simulator. I don't remember it. They could not add it because the file was corrupted, and it would have taken them an extra 6 months to rebuild the file.
I think
So they
Pinnacle
said-
Station.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter, and they weren't good. The first two are not good.
No, the only DLC that's important from the first game is the Moon DLC, is Luna, where they first introduced Edie, because that's Edie's like the very first existence.
Oh,
that,
Edie's in
that was a
3,
DC.
right?
That was in DLC. No, she's in 1 and 2. She's in 2 and 3. Sorry,
Okay, it's been
She's
a
the
long
AI.
time.
she's the.
I didn't
AI.
do that in 1.
Sorry, I've
damn it, now I'm
played
gonna
Mass
start a
Effect
playthrough
9
again.
times.
I was gonna say now I'm gonna
Just
play
wait
through
until
it again
May.
for no
Just
reason.
wait until May.
I'm planning on going back again because when we recorded the first one, the episode is complete utter garbage because my audio was really bad because I didn't realize my microphone picking up was the wrong one, so I sound terrible. But
If
I
you-
want to go back and replay it on the Legendary Edition. That's my goal.
Yeah. It's
For November.
If you ever do another episode about it, be sure to hit me up.
All right.
I was gonna say
He's
if
like,
you
"Yeah,
ever if you ever want a guest who needs to play a fucking retro game that he's been meaning to play for a while, fucking hit me up again because Alan
Okay.
Wake was a great fucking game, and I'm
Yeah.
happy I finally got to play that.
And of
If you
course,
want
any
to talk about
any-
Marvel, you come to me.
Also,
Any
you
comic
need to
books, please.
you or your fucking co-host need to fucking get a nickname or something because saying Mike and both of you responding was a fucking torture.
I didn't talk to his co-host when we recorded. It was only this mic.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of comics with me. No, I know what you mean. we know it sometimes depends on who we have on. Some people call us Mike or Michael, and then the other one will respond. It depends.
It was a fun recording. That was one of my. That might be one of the. That's the only one I've ever guested on by myself, and that was actually loads of fun. That game was fucking sick.
Good game. I'm in the process of writing the next season up. I just haven't really reached out to anybody yet, but I'll reach out to you here coming up. I can show you what we got.
Do you guys see the teaser trailer for the new Mass Effect? How like they're releasing another game, like separate game that is tied directly to the original trilogy?
Oh, thank God! As long as it's not tied to Andromeda, we're good.
Nope, not tied. It is tied directly to the original trilogy.
I
They
played
teased it with
20.
an N7 chest plate.
I played like 20 to 25 hours of Andromeda and realized I wasn't even like halfway through the fucking game, and I was like, I'm fucking done. I can't with this.
I should play Andromeda at some point. It's just that I've never gotten around to it.
It's so long and so like repetitive. It's just fucking rough. And also like none of your fucking like crew are like relatable or fun like the original trilogy. Like you don't get that bond you do with like Garrus and
Oh God, Garrus is awesome.
All right. On look at that great transition. Saying all always works.
we're bad at ending. We don't want to end.
We're like we're cosplaying Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
awful.
So
Just get rid of that.
on that note, nope, that's staying in forever.
No, please no. Please no.
Thank you, Mike, for coming on our podcast. And would you like to plug?
Yes, if you guys like retro video games or like listening, go check out Games My Mom Found. Each week we cover a different game. We also do comics. We do movies. We are going through the MCU currently, and we're getting there. We're in phase 3, which is a monster.
Still.
How long have
We
you
were
been doing that
recording
series?
way ahead of time, but yeah, we started releasing in March of last year, and then we did one a month for the phase 1 and 2, and then now we're doing 2 a month. Or no, I think phase 2 I started doing 2 a month because I had so many.
Are
other
you
games.
also going to do WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier?
At some point, we're so burned out. We have 4 movies left to record, and we're just like, fuck this. So probably not right away. It's a huge undertaking. I did not comprehend before when I started it. It's tough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies.
Yeah. All right. So, thanks so much, Mike, for coming on. We are You Hate to See It, and you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search You Hate to See It. We are available on all social forms of social media that are important, and if we are not on your form of social media, it's because it's unimportant and it sucks. So all you have to do is literally just search You Hate to See It. Our Twitter handle is at YLUH82CIT. If you go to podbean.com and you search for You Hate to See It, and you go to our website, up in the upper right hand corner, there's a little green button that says Become a Patron. And it's essentially just like Patreon, but not. So donate some money, and it will help us, and it will help you. And we actually have bonus content for you to listen to if you do that. There's unedited versions of the podcast too up there. So if you like seeing bullshit, that's the place to go. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Thank you, Mike, for coming on.
Thanks for having me again.
My name's Adam.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Nick.
And
You're
and-
unwanted. You were unwanted.
Oh, all right. I'll go now. It's fantastic. I'm sure my computer can handle Zoom and Warzone. Oh, Mom, please. Please. Please.
Please tell me she's about to light up right behind you.